Tic Tac Toe is just a game where all you get is ties, and there is a strategy to winning, but it doesn't always work or something like that. There's no guaranteed win. But today, I'm here to tell you that there are strategies to winning Tic Tac Toe, and if your opponent makes a certain mistake, you do have a guaranteed win as long as you play the right moves. And today, I'm going to teach you how to get that guaranteed win, how to get another way to win, and how to tie the match if your opponent knows how to win as well. If your opponent makes the right move as well. So we're going to jump straight into it. No intro, no asking for you to like or subscribe. And let's just get straight into this. So method number 1 to winning. Now I'm going to start off by saying you always want to go in the center. No matter what you do, always go in the center. Not because if you go into the sides, you're reducing your chances of winning. Also, if you go in the center, you have multiple ways to win. Obviously, you can go for a diagonal or a straight. And the most important thing is you're cutting off your opponent from getting a win with a diagonal, which is cutting off their chances of getting a trap set up. Now they can't trap, and now they're in trouble. So always go in the center, because your opponent can't get any more diagonals, right? Because if they can't go through the center, which is the only way to get a diagonal, they can't do it anymore because you've already gone there. So now let's say your opponent goes here. So they can either go in the section that I'm selected on right now, or they can go here. Now, the smarter way for your opponent to go would be in the corner, actually, and I'm going to show you in a little bit. But first, I'm going to show the mistake move. So let's say they go here, and if your opponent goes in the center immediately, which a lot of people do, don't go here, or here, or here, or here. Don't go in any of the middle-ish center spot, you know what I mean? Any of these kind of centered in between two spots. Don't ever go there if your opponent has gone in the middle. So here's why. So now if your opponent does this, you should have a setup victory. No matter what, after this, as long as you play in the right spots, you're going to win. So let me show you how. So if your opponent goes here, or here, or here, or here, all you need to do is play into the selected areas on the sides. So if you should either play here or up here. And if your opponent played there, which is still a centered spot, you don't want to go there. You can either play here or here, and so on and so on. If they play there, you either go here or here. Basically, in the corner, and make sure the corner is on the side of where they went, the centered spot. So now, if you go there, your opponent's obviously going to see the diagonal, and they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to block that off. And now, as you might be able to see it now. You literally have a trap set up. You can just go in this corner spot, and bam, your trap is set up. Now, here's what I was talking about with a trap. As you can see, you now have 2 ways of winning. You can either go straight across like this, or you can go straight down like this. And no matter what your opponent does, you have now secured the victory. They can either block this option, and you'll just go right there, or they could have gone where I placed. They could have gone right there, and you would have been able to get the win at the top. So that's why you don't ever want to go there. Don't go there, because then if your opponent knows what they're doing, they'll have the secured victory. You can block this area off, and they'll still just go up here and get the win. So don't do that. If your opponent goes in this spot, you have the secured victory. Just make sure that if they go here or here, I'm going to show it in a different spot. Let's say they go up here. Just make sure you go in one of these spots on the sides, because then you will secure the victory. If you go in a different corner, you might not win. Now, I'm going to show you number 2, the other way of winning. Now, if your opponent goes in the center, or let's say you go in the center. I'm me right now. I'm my opponent. I'm facing my opponent. If my opponent goes there, that's the right spot that they've gone in. Now, you may not believe this, but the right spot to go after this is actually up here in this corner. Now, you may be like, now your opponent's probably not going to see this. Your opponent's probably going to be like, why would you go up there? You had a few ways to, play the game out. Why of all spots to go, why would you go there? And the reason is right here. So your opponent has a way of getting out of this. So if your opponent decides to go here and expand, they're like, oh, why would you go there? Now I can go out in these directions. If they go here, or if they go down here, your opponent has played themselves. Your opponent has literally secured you the victory. So the number one method was the first win. Now this is the other way to win. You go here, right? You block them off, and literally now you can see it, right? Your opponent literally just gave you the win. Because as you can see, you have a way of going straight across up here, or you have a way of going the diagonal down here. And of course, your opponent can only block one or the other. Doesn't matter, you're gonna get the win. They block that area, you go there. Or if they block the diagonal, you just get the straight. And blah, 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 blah. You see, there you go. That's literally the way of winning. So now, I'm your opponent right now. Say I'm your opponent. And you decide to go there, right? I played, kind of the smart way. And you go up there. Now, there is still a way that I can win this. There is still a way that I can, actually, no, wait, my bad. After this point, unless your opponent, or unless you were to, do the stupid move and somehow let me win, the only way you can do anything here without losing, the only way you cannot lose, you can still tie this. You most likely can't win, but you can still tie this. So what you just have to do is instead of going there or there, you can either go in one of these corner spots, this corner or this corner. So let me show you. Once you go there, your opponent's gonna block it off. And then you can pretty much see how it ties out eventually. You go there, doesn't matter where your opponent goes, if they go here or here, as long as you block it off, it's a tie, no matter what. So, let's say, you go there, I would go there, you go there. As long as you go, like, even down here, they block it, you'd go right there. And as long as you don't make the stupid mistake of going up here and not blocking this, it's always going to be a tie. Now, let me just say, there also is another stupid way of winning this. If your opponent makes a very stupid move, for some reason, instead of trying to go for a place that could get them to victory, like going here or here or here or here to the point where they could possibly get a straight, if your opponent decides to go in one of these spots, which is very, very stupid, like, why would your opponent not go for a straight, you know what I mean? If your opponent goes there, you can win by going there, and like that. If they block that off, you can go there. However, don't expect this to work. Don't expect your opponent to actually go up there. If they go up there, your opponent is very, very dumb, okay? So let me just say that. So now that's literally pretty much it. Those are the 3 strategies to winning in Tic Tac Toe. That's why the title of this video should be how to win, or tie. So, like I said, the first way of winning is if your opponent decides to go there, then you go up there, and then you have a free victory, just like that. The second win, is to go right there, and then go right there, and then like that, or whichever way they decide to block. And this is why the ending says win, or tie, because if your opponent plays the smart play of going up there, the only thing left you can really do is to tie the game, like that. And that's literally it. It's either win, or tie, and that's it. That's all there is to know. Now, hopefully, when you go up against your opponent, you should be able to hopefully get a lucky win. Or, well, I shouldn't have said it like that. You should be able to secure a win, or tie if your opponent is smart. For example, I'm going to play up against a computer right now, and I'm going to show you some of the methods. So, okay, so my opponent was a smart player. They decided to play the tie game because I played it correctly. I played it smart. So my opponent went there, and I'm pretty sure this is also going to lead to a tie. Obviously there's other ways for your opponent to tie the game. So, alright, so this guy, my AI is playing pretty smart right now, so it's probably just gonna be a bunch of ties. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash like and subscribe if this helped you. Like the video to show that it helped you. And that's all I really need to say. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.